what are some of the financial advantages of turning your first property into an investment property?
One of the main things about buying your first home as your primary, turning it into an investment rather than buying it as an investment, is the down payment and the cost. A lot of buyers wanting to get into investing, the loans are 20% down. The qualifications of getting the financing will just be more costly. You'll pay a higher rate and you'll be having a larger down payment. So if you have a certain amount of money saved up, you're going to maybe spend all that just on the down payment, which leaves you less or potentially no room for the improvements that are necessary.
And that difference being, you said 20% is what you'd have to be if you bought it as a investment property?
Yes. So if you bought it as an investment property, you have to put 20% down, whereas, sometimes it fluctuates, but generally in the standard would be 20%, sometimes 25%. Whereas going FHA, or even conventional in today's market, you could go 3.5% down. So if you're going to use it as your primary residence. So buying a property as your primary and then turning it into an investment property, generally you'd only need to stay there for 2 years, and then you could turn it over and still keep the 30-year fixed loan.
And that's obviously a huge difference, like 20% compared to like 3.5. Those are huge numbers, right?
Huge. I mean, well, you figure, take an average first-time buyer in our area, let's just say a $300,000 house, you're talking about $60,000 plus closing costs, you're at, $70,000 to put down, whereas, 3% down, you could be at 10 grand, 20 grand total. So, that extra swing in saving up is big.
Yeah, that's like the barrier to entry is massively different.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who's like me or anyone who's buying their first home, like probably the largest payment or purchase they've ever made. So like those are huge numbers to someone that are in their 20s or 30s.
100%. A huge swing, and it's keeping in mind that if you're buying something as an investment property, most people do assume that you're gonna make improvements to it, so having that cushion extra to put into it rather than putting it as your down payment makes a huge difference, especially when interest rates are 3%, where money's so cheap.
Yeah.
So.